Hi, Metaphysical Mama. How is everyone? I just got bumped off. So I swapped phones and I'm going to continue. So, part 2. So, we're just talking about if you're just joining, right? Alchemizing our thoughts and feelings, our Adams and our Eves, allowing time and space for due processing. Not allowing what just gets thrown out in the media or by somebody else's mouth or by the thoughts we think that are repeats, that repeating record that we haven't quite learned to, right, to, it's like autopilot, that shitty, sneaky fucking thoughts that come in and they're like, da-da-da-da-da-da. It's like we're just cruising around. And sometimes that's attachments from, you could have money in your pocket that somebody else had stuff in. Again, money is so dirty, right? Because thoughts and feelings get attached to it. They're magnetic. Ooh, now I'm getting deep. So the money, again, magnetic money. So when different vibrations and forms, right, get passed through the waters, everything's water. And everything is also electromagnetic, right? Every thought and feeling has a positive and a negative vibration, and they're also magnetic. At first, to travel one, right? Magnets travel away from one another, and then they're going to be turned around and gravitated toward one another at climaxing speeds. And then we have the Big Bang and the sign of the cross, or the plus sign. The two fused come together in the center. It's like the first, in the dark, before there's anything, is our first thought. Well, our first awareness of consciousness that creates our first thought. And then creates movement in the water. I'd probably jump. So, right, so I'm just gonna keep going. So being in, say, the etheric waters, that's the dark triple darkness. So when our consciousness is birthed in the ether, which is before we're Adam and Eve, right, before we're man, before we become physical, before we become anything, person, place, or thing, we're just in the void. And as our consciousness starts to awaken, right, it's like waking up from sleep. We're sleeping, right, related to, it's because as above, so below, and so within, so without, and vice versa in any direction. So as long as it's coming from self, because we want to protect self, we're no more with the Star Wars bullshit. That's like, right, we're again from the other, I was just recording another video right before this. You might want to check that out before you come here. If not, it seems I'm kind of turning, well, oh yeah, all incorporated. Back to the storyteller. I'll leave that and that there. Oh jeepers. I lost my train of dang thought. In the ether, so we're just sitting at our conscious awareness when we start to, right, it's like, and then there was light. God said, and then there was light. So, and then there was light mean, awakening, relating to, everything's relative. So when you wake up in the morning, that's what I was saying. Right? It's like, we're like kind of like, sometimes you wake up, you're like, where the fuck am I? But we're not consciously aware yet. And then it's like, and it's like, I gotta get up, or I gotta, right? We gotta create movement. We become aware. We become awake. So on a way deeper level, in the beginning of, right, self, where self started, and this is a deep meditation too, which, maybe, I think Maybe I'll try to do that later. I've been trying to get my studio stuff set up so I could do live shows. It's just my internet sucks. So I would love to do some like live meditations and what have you, because I love the energy of that when I jump on other live shows and we do those things like the group chats and we're talking and we got the group chat going and etc. The energy and the vibrations and the fluidity, right? It's just like, I feel like we're surfing or like riding with Santa's sleigh. We're just flying through, like, right? How does the old school, how does Santa make it to all those houses, right? It's like, that's kind of like that, right? It's like we're flying through the ether, the cosmos, we're time jumping, we're quantum leaping, we're going through so many multidimensional things and forms, right? Through the tunnel. It's so amazing, so fucking cool. I just love it, and I so love sharing it with all of you. I'm so happy, you know, thank you first of all for being here, and I'm so grateful. I really am. As cuckoo and crazy and chaotic as everything is, like, how can you not be grateful? Like, how strong and amazing and wonderful and fucking kick-ass people are we through our fear, through our, you know, they say that, you know, the road to hell is paved with the best intentions. So again, like I was saying in the other video, like our ability to allow ourselves and others to truly have, like, even in the court system, right? System, programs, systems, forces, in the in the system, they say, in the court system, right? It's due time and space for processing. Obviously, they copy that out of divine law. But as far as us as man go, we blame one another and point, but we all do that. It's like, so we're very reactive, right? Alchemists. We're learning, right? A lot of people are definitely, like, again, twin flames, we're master alchemists already, and we're learning more. We're always learning more. It's like always a student. I'm always a student. I'm always a student. I'm always a student. No matter what, I'm always a student. No matter who I'm, right, mothering, nurturing, teaching, serving. You know, I'm a chef also, personal trainer. I was a bartender. I love being a mom. I love, you know, caring for, I don't like when other things or people get hurt. I'm a high empath, so I feel everything. I feel everyone's feelings, so to speak, or not everyone's, but I feel, you know, these, I interpret by empathy my world, and so it can be very hard to discern and bring things into, right, verbalization, to verbalize what I'm experiencing, because it's so multidimensional all the time. It's always been since I was little, which I think is too why I don't know if anybody could relate. Ha 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 ha. Since I was little, I've always been misinterpreted by many, or authorities have got, you know, not authorities, more parental authority than, because I never really got in trouble. I never got in trouble in school or anything. I've always had respect, you know, but I've always been definitely that rebel. And feel when somebody's not being authentic or lying or not honest, and, you know, I'm not gonna just get pulled by, you know, that when I feel that. I'm not gonna just, okie dokie, okay, right? That's actually prostitution, if you want to get technical. And here, look, damsel. You know, because that's prostituting self. I used to work for Boar's Head, and I did promotions and marketing for them, so I did a lot of food demos. And at that time, I would work, I believe in that because, well, I was able to support many things that I did I worked for a few different companies doing that as well. I had my own private chef business for a while. I've worked in a lot of, you know, restaurants, delis, like I said, bartending, just being a mom. I love, I've grown up with cooking my whole life. I love cooking, again, like alchemist, right? So I love I love mixing things up. Oh boy. And sometimes they come out good, and sometimes, right, what a mess we make. But as far as going back to the prostitution of self, you know, if that's not part of what's in me, and I'm going against that, or I'm just like, oh, okay, I'm selling myself, and that goes in so many ways, you know. So learning to respect oneself and learn who oneself is as I am, right? I am. Let's read this really quick. Damsel, light attributes, understanding the nature of healthy romance inspires you to rely on yourself, like I was just saying, right? So having our own individuality, but in a balanced manner, so that our mind, right, our thoughts and our feelings, our Adams and our Eves are working together with our center, with our divinity in the center. I have like a lot of artwork and pictures that I don't think I have anything pulled out right now, and or do I might have something like right here. I don't know. Maybe I'll be lucky, because sometimes I can open my notebooks and just find what I'm looking for. Here's actually a cool, I chant, right? I channel energy, but I also, it's like a, right? I end up like auto drawing and writing quite a lot. And that's like a astrophysics, right, equation of a lot of things. Our solar system and the ecliptical, the other, you know, binary system, flat Earth, spiral. I gotta look at it better again but I'll let you ponder on that for a hot second while I blab. You know, so our center, okay, it's like, I don't want to draw on that paper. There's another one for you. You know, you can always pause it too and check it out. See if this, you know, like meditate on that for a hot second. If it, you know, I don't know. If that'll mean anything to you. Frequency and vibration. Fair thumbnail. Music. I love working with like quantum physics and stuff too, like my or whatever label wise, astrophysics, just vibration form kind of. Again, there's so many different things I dabble in and play with. Right? There's no source friendly. Right? Like, what's that term? There's no bad knowledge. So, some empty pages. But anyhow, you know, again, respecting ourselves to allow alchemize, right? Allow, if we get told a story, right? Especially through gossip, or just our mental state, you know, again, the repeat record, or something we hear on TV, storyteller, right? Television, etc. So all those things create our mental state and our emotional bodies to get all mixed up and start processing different thoughts and feelings, right? So then in our heart, it may be feeling one way, but then our thoughts and feelings are conflicting, and then we may see somebody else and they may have a conversation, and then somebody be swaying us another way. So there's so many different, right, variables. Excuse me, my little pretty light thing is falling. It's falling. I have these Himalayan salt rock light. I love it. But if you move it, it's like the little light bulb is in the center. Here, I'll show you. It's so pretty. I love it. Where are you? Show yourself. Speaking of the center, maybe it got messed up because it wanted me to show that, actually. Because that's, well, it's like, right, the fifth element. And the fifth element is Mercury. So those 5 balls can represent air, earth, water, fire, and then Mercury. And right, we're going through the coronavirus or the COVID virus. Corona is yellow as the crown, right? And the mind and the solar plexus are kind of one the same, both, and yellow, the crown chakra, right? Virus of the mind. And all dis-ease comes from the gut, which is also where lust comes from. So when we're coming from that, we can confuse love and lust very easily, or fear. You know, when we love something and we don't want something to change, because that's our nature, and we do love our job or the people we're with or our family or where we live, or right, etc. Most of us don't like to be moved. We like to be, right, like I was saying in another video the other day, like Stockholm syndrome, right? It's kind of like people that run back to their abuser or captor. And as far as I'm concerned, all of America, right, is right under the thumb of, right, the said government. But I'm not saying the government is bad either. It's what we make it. We have to put good thoughts and vibrations into the consciousness of such nature. We can't, when people just like want to pick, I mean, to me, it's just crazy. People want to vote for someone, a man or woman, right? But then they don't follow through with the actual, it's like being a winner picker and then casting judgment, expecting them to hold the brunt, and then they're great if they do one thing, and if not, then they get, right, the hangman's jury. They get hung up on the cross, shot at. And this is like verbally, physically, look, in so many ways. So people think they then have a right to judge and cast stones. And it's like, but you supported that thought or theory, or was it you? What are you supporting exactly? I don't. Like I was just saying before, okay, I used to work for Boar's Head, so authenticity, right? I couldn't, going back to the prostitution, I couldn't in my heart hand somebody something that I don't think is okay for them. I'm not going to be like, yeah, this is good, such as, okay, aka either V word. Do your research and look up the etymology, please, of those two words, vaccine and virus. And there's ancient stories about the sacred cow. How much time do I have? I'm going to make another video regarding the sacred cow, so please check back in, okay? Because I have those pulled up and I've been working on them, and it's just very deep and intricate. So a lot of things I start doing, and then I'm not sure if they're worthy or confusing or, you know, right? Here's another, I overanalyze, right? Analysis paralysis. So I can get totally stuck in many places. You know, once I start thinking, you know, too much, right? Thin king, I shorten myself, my crown, and then I get stuck, and then I don't do it. Or I'm only doing it in my mind. You know, it depends. And two, we're learning so many different, again, balancing. So coming out, like, we're coming back into, right, telepathy and telekinesis and etc., free energy. But in order to do so, we all have to learn how to alchemize and balance, coming from, right, with effort coming from, right, if you're trying, if you're putting effort in, you're doing. You're alchemizing. If you're putting effort in, you're doing this. If you're allowing time and space for your thoughts and your feelings, right? Because we get hit by thoughts and feelings of others and words that come out, or thoughts that come through our physical vessel, our mind, our fields, right? And so when we start having thoughts and feelings and wondering things like, right, how many places do you go in your mind all day compared to where you go actually physically from place A to B and etc. It's like we feel like how many things do we do inside the mind? Right, like Dr. Seuss, the places we go. It's infinite. So where are you allowing your choo-choo, your train of thought to be taken? Your energy board. Your thoughts and your feelings. And then we wonder where we go, right? We wonder why we feel lost. We're lost because we fucking let our thoughts and feelings go wandering, and we forgot to say, hey, come back. It's like, right, your dog or your kids, or when we're like, it's like, hey, time to come in. I had to, my dog used to always run away. His name was Aries. He thought he was so funny that as soon as my door would be cracked, and he loved me. It was like a game, and it's like he would dart out the door, and I'd be like, oh, and I'd have to go around the corner. I was like, Aries. And he'd be right down the street around the corner, and he'd see me, and he'd come running to me like it was his first time ever seeing me ever. And I'd be like, oh, Aries. You know, but it's like, we don't want who we love to run away or go away from us. And if they do, especially, right, it's 10:44 right now as I'm saying this, for any of those who care. You know, it puts us in a feeling of fear and anxiety, and then we can be in a feeling of lack. And once we're in the feeling of lack, we become a danger to ourselves and others, because then we don't believe things are good. Sometimes so that's where we have to be more cautious. That's where we on a slippery motherfucking wet roof, and we don't want to fall and split our legs there. Yeah. You know, I remember when I was a little girl, I used to love playing in boxes. And I used to put blankets over them, and they were like my little cave, my cardboard boxes. Oh my goodness, I used to love them things. And one day I had this box, and I had it sitting upright, and I went to climb out. I think I had to go to the pee or go to the bathroom or something, and whatever. I tried to get out of it and like put my leg over. And I remember kind of falling. It was a little too high for me. I was tiny. I was like 3 years old. And I can tell you, I still remember that pain. You know, right up my coochie, the slit of that cardboard box. Ow! Right? So, whether you're whichever anatomy of right, falling sucks, but it can also wake us the fuck up. Pain is the great awakener as well. So like I was saying before, we like to be comfy with our companion, with our house, with our home, with our car. We want to know what's going to happen next, our job. We want to be able to go where we want to go. Why can't things just be whatever? Well, they can as soon as we alchemize and go through the time, give ourselves that time and space to go through our shit, go through here, like I got this cool book. I have to read it, but right, Skeletons in God's Closet. So we got to go through our skeletons in the closet and really acknowledge that shit, because we are independent, strong, rebel motherfuckers. Which, again, going back to the first card we pulled in the first video, the rebel card challenges authority to effect social changes, rejects spiritual systems that do not serve inner needs. And again, that goes to alchemy, because alchemy is a balance, right? It's like the food, if I'm cooking, related to cooking, right? If my recipe's not ready, or I'm baking a cake, right? Don't open the door and make the cake fall, right? Is the cake done? Don't you touch it. Nope. And if our food's not ready, making rice or something, right? It's like, don't take the top off. It's not ready. Because then, right, then the atmosphere within is it's not gonna be how we want it to be. Light and airy and fluffy. It could get sticky then if we take the top off too quick. So, you know, it's just, again, alchemizing is a balance, and not allowing the storyteller, and ourselves as the storyteller too. We tell ourselves stories in our head all the fucking time. So what story are you listening to? Right? And is it bringing fear within you and causing your world to be rocked? Your belief system, etc.? Because when we're going through that stuff, it's important to, again, acknowledge it, because we are, again, like I said, kick-ass rebels. But a rebel to self, meaning I'm going to, like, when we fall, it's like, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to get back up, brush myself off, and take a look at, right? Like, it's like, just keep trying. And somebody may make fun of us. Oh, you ain't going to be able to do it, or whatever, right? But again, being grateful for our negative Nellies, so to speak, the negative ones that try to, you know, stop us or stunt our growth or pause us along our way. You know, whatever, it's okay. They just help me, right? They help me to grow and take a look at myself and be stronger. So I have to be grateful for them as well. And there's a lot of trickster gods. Or think of, like, you have an uncle that used to like to play tricks on you, like in a positive way, though. Not like, I'm not talking about creepy uncle, or creepy stepfather, or creepy fucking man. I'm talking about, like, funny uncle, right? Like hiding a quarter behind his back or behind his ear and giving it to you, or something, right, of that nature, showing some magic, right? Or they like to be tricky. Big brothers or uncles can be tricky, right? They can trick us and, like, run away from us, especially brothers. And they don't want us to, no. A lot of time they don't want us girls to be better than them, right? If we start doing sports better than them, it's like, oh, I was just having a bad day. Or, oh, duh. Well, I grew up with a lot of that. Anyhow, not all. Don't be getting all offended, men, because there's so many of you that no. It's like complete balance, respect, and that's not who I'm talking about. So, I'm about to run out of time, and I have a call I have to make and be on. And please hit subscribe and like and the little belly bell so that you can get little notifications when I come on. And I'm really working on my website, and it's going to be, I hope, really cool. I mean, I'm just going letting things go as I, flow as I go. But I have so much to input, and I'm learning how to do that all as I'm doing it. And anyhow, blah, blah. I'm playing with that too. So we have the earth and water dragon to close out with. And I don't know why I'm saying she, but she says, creates the foundation for new growth. Whoop, whoop. A fresh start is coming. Oh, that's so beautiful. And I think, right, it's going to be spring this weekend. First day of spring. 3/21's coming. 2 more days. And today's the 19th, right? Crush COVID with love. The love, doctor. Be the love that you are. We have new foundation for growth. A fresh start is coming with new opportunities. Nurture your ideas and harvest the abundance. So just more confirmation, right? To defend what's dear to you, go after your dreams, create, keep clearing, be of love, because that's what you are. And, acknowledge the shitty shit too. It's good. When we're having feelings, they're valid. So acknowledge them. But then it's like, right, then we get rid of it. Flush the toilet. Let it go. Let it go. So I so appreciate you being here. I thank you. And, please like, subscribe, hit the bell, and come back soon. And I'm going to try to do that video again later about the, sacred cows and the trims. Trimming trees. Cutting cords and trimming trees. I think I'm going to do a video on the sacred cows and she-wolf and the twins and Romulus and Ramus. And there's a bunch of things that are intertwined there. So I'm having to do with the twins, and we'll just see what flies and what flows as we go. All right. Peace out. One love. Mwah.